Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. We strap in one last time as we conclude our reading of Macbeth with Act 5. What a journey we've been on so far. So to recap where we are up to this point, King Duncan has been killed by Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, a plot hatched by them because Macbeth, as foretold by the three witches slash the three weird sisters, is that Macbeth is going to become king, and so that prophecy ends up coming true. He kills Banquo, who pretty much goes paranoid before and after killing Banquo. And now Macduff, one of the king's sons, and is now alongside the other king's son Malcolm, are on their way to give that no good doer Macbeth what for. I don't know if no good doer is actual term. Good doer is a term, but anyway, I digress. Macbeth. So it's time for the confrontation. What will happen? Let's find out. Right off the bat, there are 8 scenes in Act 5 here. Strap in. We may be here for a while, but nevertheless, as starting off with scene 1 here, and of course, as always, I'm gonna be reading. I'm gonna be reading in the text first. Here's aka the actual dialogue, and then the synopsis afterwards, and then we're going to talk about it. Oh, enter a doctor of psychic or physic, I should say, and a waiting gentlewoman. Wow, we're already off to a great start. I can't read already, and I can't drink my water. I'm sorry. Hey, we're already off to a, but it's alright. I'm excited. I'm excited. But nevertheless, I have 2 nights watched with you, but I can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked? Since His Majesty went to the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep. A great perturbation, and I think that's how it's pronounced, a great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In the slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say? That, sir, which I will not report after her. You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should. Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Enter Lady Macbeth with a taper. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and, upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close. How came she by that light? Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command. You see her eyes are open. Aye, but their senses are shut. What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands. It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue in this a quarter of an hour. Yet here's a spot. Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly. Out, damned spot! Out, I say. 1, 2. Why then? 'Tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord. Fie, a soldier and afeard? What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him? Do you mark that? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What, will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting. Go to. You have known what you should not. She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known. Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh, oh, oh! What a sigh is there! The heart is sorely charged. I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body. Well, well, well. Pray God it be, sir. This disease is beyond my practice, yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds. Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave. Even so? To bed, to bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed. And Lady Macbeth exits. Will she go now to bed? Directly. Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs he the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight. I think but dare not speak. Good night, good doctor. And they exit. So, the synopsis here is that a gentlewoman who waits on Lady Macbeth has seen her walking in her sleep and has asked the doctor's advice. Together they observe Lady Macbeth make the gestures of repeatedly washing her hands as she relives the horrors that she and Macbeth have carried out and experienced. The doctor concludes that she needs spiritual rather than medical aid. So, a bit of a somewhat irrelevant tangent, but I personally have never sleepwalked. I don't know anyone personally who has sleepwalked, but apparently my sister did one time. My parents told us about the story where my sister was sleepwalking and she walked downstairs, or like her eyes were open and everything, and but like hey, you could tell she was definitely not part of the. She was like totally gone. This is when we were much younger though, and she like apparently he if I remember correctly, she came downstairs hers and spoke like a totally different language to my mom when my mom called out to her. So other than that, I haven't seen anybody sleepwalking personally. I know it is a thing, like, and but I don't. Aside from my sister, but obviously I wasn't there for the moment. But other than that, I don't really know anybody personally who is sleepwalking. But I imagine it would be kind of insane to see in person, and just like it was for this lady to see Lady Macbeth, and guilt has funny ways of affecting people. We saw back in I believe it was Act 3 or it may have been Act 4. I believe Act 3, where Macbeth's guilt over killing Banquo caused him to see Banquo's ghost at dinner and pretty much interrupt his dinner. Her aunt. And now we see it affecting Lady Macbeth here because she's repeating the action, washing the blood, essentially washing the blood off her hands of both Banquo and King Duncan, and I'm surprised as they just write it off as gibberish, even though she mentions Banquo. And she mentions the old man, aka the king, and yet the doctor and the lady put two and two together. Although I guess your initial reaction probably wouldn't be to pay attention to what they're saying, but rather the fact that someone is sleepwalking towards you. But nevertheless, Lady Macbeth is sleepwalking. So the doctor's like, yeah, no, this is out my pay grade. This is beyond me. I can't do nothing about this. Will Lady Macbeth gets the help she needs? Let's find out here in scene 2. So, drumming colors enter Menteith, Caithness, Angus, Lennox, and soldiers. And I'm pretty sure I pronounced a couple of those names wrong, so if I did, I do apologize. The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burning them, for their dear causes would to the bleeding and the grim alarm excite the mortified man. Near Burnham Wood shall we well meet them. That way are they coming. Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother? For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry. There is Seward's son, and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood. What does the tyrant? Great Hunsinane, and he fortifies. Some say he's mad, others that lesser hate him. Do call it valiant fury, but for certain he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule. Now does he feel his secret murders aching on his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief. Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there? Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him pour we in our country's purge, each drop of us, or so much as it needs, to do who the sovereign flower, and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham, and they exit marching. So the synopsis here is that a Scottish force in rebellion against Macbeth marches towards Burnham Wood to join Malcolm and his English army. So things are on and popping now. It looks like the conflict between Macbeth and Macduff is officially about to commence. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to rumble. I'm sorry. But let's move on to scene 3. Let's see what they do there. So, enter Macbeth, the doctor, and attendant. Yeah, I read the synopsis. Okay. Hey, yeah, I had to make sure I read the synopsis for the previous one, but I did, which is why I made that cringy Michael Buffer joke. Michael Buffer, if you're watching this, it's not. I'm sorry. I had to, but. All right. Hey, so I'll enter Macbeth, the doctor, and attendants. Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all, till Burnham Wood removed to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. Epicures, I should say. Or it might be epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. And then enter servant. The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where goest thou that goose look? There's 10,000. Geese, villain? Soldiers, sir. Go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul. Those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers? Way face. The English force, so please you. Take thy face hence, and the servant exits. Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold Satan, I say. This push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sere, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age, as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud but deep, mouth honor, breathe, which the, or should be breath, which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan! Enter Satan. What's your gracious pleasure? Or what news more? Or all is confirmed, my lord, which was reported. I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor. 'Tis not needed yet. I'll put it on. Send out more horses. Scur the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor? Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies that keep her from her rest. Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased, plucked from the memory of a rooted sorrow, raise out the ridden troubles of the brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart? Or therein the patient must minister to himself. Oh, throw physic to the dog. I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. And attendants begin to arm him. Satan, send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo, that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, senna, or what purgative drug would scour these English hence? And hearest thou of them? Ay, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something. Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane, till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane. And Dr. Sy says, were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here. And they exit. It's so... So the synopsis here is, reports are brought to Macbeth of the Scottish and English forces massed against him. He seeks assurance in the apparition's promise of safety for himself, but he is anxious about Lady Macbeth's condition and impatient with her doctor's inability to cure her. So, So I may have jumped the gun a little bit, not quite at the rumbling yet, but he's getting a part of it. He's like, "Yo, fetch me armor. Let's do this. Let's do this thing." So, is he about to do this thing? Let's find out how as we move into scene 4. Drum and colors. Enter Malcolm, Seward, Macduff, Seward's son, Menteith, Caithness, Angus, and soldiers marching. Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand, that Chambers will be safe. We doubt it nothing. What wood is this before us? The hood of Burnham. Let every soldier hew him down a bough, and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery, ere and report of us. It shall be done. We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it. 'Tis his main hope. For, where there is an advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things, whose hearts are absent too. Let our just censors attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership. The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate. Towards which advance the war, and they exit marching. So, synopsis here is that the rebel Scottish forces have joined Malcolm's army at Burnham Wood. Malcolm orders each soldier to cut down and carry a bough from the wood so as to conceal their numbers from Macbeth. So more so a lot of setting up, of gearing up to the conflict. But I do like this kind of juxtaposition, and we jump from the rebel side, that being obviously Macduff, Malcolm, and their army, and then over to Macbeth. We see Macbeth preparing. So we see the sides preparing and for war, and they will inevitably clash. How will they clash? Let's find out as we continue into scene 5 here. So enter Macbeth, Satan, and soldiers with drum and colors. Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. And a cry within of women. What is that noise? It is the cry of women, my good lord. And he exits. I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal a dismal treaty my goodness, would at a dismal treaty rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me, and then enter Satan. Wherefore was that cry? The queen, my lord, is dead. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale, told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So enter a messenger. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly. Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it. Well, say, sir. As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move. Liar and slave! Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say, a moving grove. If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend, in that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm, and out. If this which he avouches does appear, there is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I again to be heal weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell. Blow wind. Come rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back. And they exit. So the synopsis here is that Macbeth is confident that he can withstand any siege from Malcolm's forces. He is then told of Lady Macbeth's death and of the apparent movement of Birnam Wood towards Dunsinane Castle, where he waits. He desperately resolves to abandon the castle and give battle to Malcolm in the field. So, inching closer and closer towards the battle, Lady Macbeth has passed away, I imagine, due to her illness resulting from her guilt. She literally died from her guilt, essentially. But that is funny. He's like, hey, Macbeth, your Highness, there's a moving tree. and Macbeth's like, a moving tree? What are you talking about? Oh, but yeah, has a moving tree, if you remember, or they grab the boughs from the Birnam Wood, and now they're moving towards them. But Macbeth is like, you know what? Forget the castle. We doing this out in the field. We going out in the mud with it. I don't know if it's actually muddy, but you know what I mean. So, let's move into scene 6 here. So. Drumming colors enter Malcolm, Seward, Macduff, and their army with bows. Now near enough, your leafy screens throw down, and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon us what else remains to do, according to our order. Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight. Make all our trumpets speak, give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death. And they exit, and the alarms continued. So the synopsis here is pretty much Malcolm arrives with his troops before Dunsinane Castle. It is interesting to see how they're really stretching out, going from Malcolm and Macduff, their armies, to Macbeth, then back and forward, pretty much show the two sides gearing up. I know for some people that might be kind of annoying, like, man, we're still not at the battle yet, they're still setting up, they're still moving towards the castle, but think about it, they're stretching it out. How this thing is going to be epic. You see all this setup from both sides. If I can make a comparison, it's like in the movies, it's like a superhero movie where you show them gearing up with their armor and stuff, of like when they're about to fight Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron, they're gearing up with their gear and stuff. Iron Man's putting on a suit, Captain America's picking up his shield, Thor's picking up Mjolnir and everything. So they're gearing up, they're getting ready for battle. Both sides are getting ready for battle. Malcolm and his armies, as well as Macduff and his armies. He's Malcolm, Macduff, their armies. Are all moving towards the castle, getting ready to battle. So, definitely giving it that epic feel, and I do like how it is jumping back and forth, showing both sides. Alright, so let's move into scene 7 here. And then enter Macbeth. They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly. But bear-like, I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none. And then enter young Seward. What is thy name? Thou be afraid to hear it. No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell. My name's Macbeth. The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear. No, nor more fearful. Thou liest, abhorred tyrant, and with my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakest. They fight, and young Seward is slain. Thou was born of woman, but swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by a man that's of a woman born. He exits. Alarms. Enter Macduff. That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face. If thou be slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns, whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge, I sheathe again indeed. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of the greatest notes seems rooted. Let me find him. Fortune, and more I beg not. He exits. Alarums. Enter Malcolm and Seward. This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself profess yours, and little is to do. We have met with foes that strike beside us. Enter, sir, the castle. They exit. Alarum. So the synopsis here is that on the battlefield, Macbeth kills young Seward, the son of the English commander. After Macbeth exits, Macduff arrives in search of him. Dunsinane Castle has already been surrendered to Malcolm, whose forces have been strengthened by deserters from Macbeth's army. So, Seward's dead. Macbeth within this battle, at least, has his first casualty. We have our first casualty in the form of Seward. So now Macduff's looking for him. Will he find him? Let's find out as we conclude not just Act 5, but also Macbeth, also the tragedy of Macbeth, the whole story, with Scene 8 here. Enter Macbeth. Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword, whilst I see alive the gashes do better upon them? Enter Macduff. Turn, hellhound, turn. Of all men else I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already. I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain, than terms can give thee out, and fight alarum. Thou losest labor. As easy mayst thou the entrenchant air with thine keen sword impress as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born. Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped. Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man, and be these juggling fiends no more believed, that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee. Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze o' the time. We'll have thee, as our rare monsters are, painted upon a pole, and underwit, here may you see the tyrant. I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough, and they exit fighting. Alarums. They enter fighting, and Macbeth is slain. Macduff exits carrying off Macbeth's body. Retreat and flourish. Enter with drum and colors. Malcolm, Seward, Ross, Thanes, and soldiers. I would the friends we missed were safe arrived. Some must go off, and yet by these I see so great a day as this is cheaply bought. Macduff is missing, and your noble son. Your son, my lord, has paid the soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man, the which no sooner had his prowess confirmed in the unshrieking station where he fought, but like a man he died. Then he is dead? Aye, and brought off the field. Your cause of sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end. Had he his hurts before? Aye, on the front. Why then, God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I have heirs, as I have hairs, I should say, I would not wish them to a fair death, and so his knell is knolled. He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him. He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score, and so God be with him. Here comes newer comfort. Enter Macduff with Macbeth's head. Hail, king, for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland! And flourish. We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with you several loves, and make us even with you, my thanes and kinsmen. Henceforth be earls, the first that had ever Scotland, in such an honour named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this head butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else, that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone, and flourish, and all exit. So the synopsis for here is... Macduff finds Macbeth, who is reluctant to fight with him because Macbeth has already killed Macduff's whole family and is sure of killing Macduff too if they fight. When Macduff announces that he is not, strictly speaking, a man born of woman, having been ripped prematurely from his mother's womb, then Macbeth is afraid to fight. He fights with Macduff only when Macduff threatens to capture him and display him as a public spectacle. Macduff kills Macbeth, cuts off his head, and brings it to Malcolm. With Macbeth dead, Malcolm is now king and gives new titles to his loyal supporters. So, that is how the story ends. So, the prophecies he's end up being fulfilled. And it is kind of funny to see the loop around that they went with here. Macduff's technically not born of woman. He's born of I guess, kind of C-section, perhaps. Excuse me, or something adjacent to that, but Macduff technically not born a woman, so it counts. But kind of that loop around, kind of like the kind of irony, the delicious, cruel irony. Macbeth, this probably wouldn't have happened to you if you just waited a few years. But nevertheless, as Macbeth, to see what goes around comes back around, to see all these things that Macbeth tried essentially to avoid, it ended up happening anyway, because of it. They say a man finds his destiny on the path he takes to avoid it, and Macbeth found that in the negative connotation. But apparently, according to this line, how this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, talking about Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, who, as it is thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. So I guess that means she committed unaliving herself. But yeah. So Macbeth is dead. Malcolm's the new king, and pretty much giving the lineage it's to Banquo's children, and so everything fulfills itself, and they all lived happily ever after. Well, except for Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, of course. But definitely an interesting story. Quite a bit of action and some irony thrown in, and a tad bit of humor. Very much a tragedy. A lot higher body count in terms of like kills and everything, as opposed to Romeo and Juliet. Now, out of these two, which one do I prefer more? I'm not sure. I think both of these I think are pretty interesting stories for two very different reasons. For Romeo and Juliet, it's a lot more about romance and faded lovers, star-crossed lovers that can't really be together, that faded love, all that forbidden love. Whereas Macbeth, it's more about greed. Greed and wanting it all and wanting it now, and seeing how that comes back to haunt you, giving credence to the classic phrase, "Be careful what you wish for." Or Macbeth got everything he wished for and everything he hoped for, but it didn't quite happen the way he wanted it to. With that is the lesson there. But nevertheless, that is Macbeth, aka The Tragedy of Macbeth. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining me along this ride. I hope you enjoyed, whether you started from Act 1 or this is your first episode. If you missed any of the other Macbeth readings up until this point, I definitely recommend going and checking those out. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the story of Macbeth and your thoughts upon it. But thank you all so much for watching. And also let me know which other stories you want me to read on Nigel Dixie Tales from the Labyrinth, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Shakespeare. I do have a couple more Shakespeare stories I have in mind that I want to read for the channel, but otherwise, if you have any other stories that you want to see me read for Nigel Dixie Tales from the Labyrinth, please feel free to let me know, whether in the comments below or on my social medias. I have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go follow those. Pretty much any way you can get a hold of me with your recommendations. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. And then obviously next time with Now Dixie Tales from the Labyrinth, we back to our regular poems and everything. And we're almost at episode 100. And I definitely got something really special for episode 100, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.